customers. He has approached you with figures for a typical month, February 2016. So the question says, 1, identify. So you have to identify one problem. Identify one problem. Okay. And then, secondly, you must try to quote figures to support your answer. And then you give Cobos 1 point of advice with each of the problem. So you see 3 things. Information. 1, Cobos has 3 delivery vehicles and employ 3 drivers to transport goods to his customers free of charge. The drivers are expected to work 5 days per week. You see, that is the expectation. Expectation, very important. Expectation, very important. So, expected to work 5 days per week. And then we go now to the next information. Some customers live close by while other customers live further away. But none of the customers live more than, very important, 40 kilometers from the shop. That is approximately 40 kilometers if they have to go round trip. None of the customers more than that. So we'll continue. Information are recorded as follows. So we look at, you have 3 vehicles. The name of driver Leroy Fred Becky, and they have their date of purchases in 2016. A carrying value. Carrying value, remember, we are looking at the carrying value means the cost minus the accumulated depreciation. And remember, if a vehicle is too old, then we have to put the carrying value at 1. So here we look at, this is the carrying value. And look at this vehicle here. 1. Number, first of all, seeing it. And then secondly, we look at the number of days. The question says they are supposed to work 5 days per week. Okay, 5 days per week. If you come back here, drivers are expected to work 5 days, and they are 4 weekdays. 4 weekdays. So each person is expected to work 5 times 4. So each person is supposed to work 20 days. So look at this person. 1, I've identified this one work only 12 days. Then look at his salary. Look at his salary. The highest, 8,000. Look at his number of delivery. Lowest. Okay. Look at his number of deliveries. Now, look at the delivery for this person with a very old vehicle. Number of trips per day. Look at this person, the very old vehicle. Okay, why is this number of trips per day? Because if you look at this number of trips per day, you should know the average kilometer that the person is supposed to have. So if you look at here, average trip per day 4. So if you have an average trip of 4 per day, then I'll expect that how many kilometers must you cover? You have 4 trips. You have 4 trips. And then now if I take that 4 trips, sorry, I multiply by 4 days. Okay, I multiply by 4 days. And then how many days did you work? I multiply now by the number of days that you work. Look here, person work what? 12 days. Okay, so if I have to look at that, so I'll see that he works 4 days. It's supposed to be 4 days per week. So if I go 4 trips in a day, okay, then if I multiply times multiply by 12 as number of days that he worked, okay, then I multiply by average trip of 40, I multiply by 40, that's a number of kilometers that I'm expecting. Fine, he's within his own kilometers. Now, if I come now also, I check now for each of them. I go to vehicle number 2, which is Fred. Fred made 20 days. Average number of trips 4 times 4. Okay. Now look the number of deliveries he made. Okay, to the number of customers. So Fred is traveling too many kilometers because if you look at for 80 trips, okay, for 80 trips, how many kilometers is he supposed to cover? I'll take 4,600 divided by 80. 57.5 kilometers. Yeah, 57.5 kilometers. Let me say 58 kilometers per trip. That is too much because averagely we said it's 40 kilometers per round trip. If I take this, I divide by this, it gives me divide by divided by this, it's supposed to give me what? 58, approximately 58 kilometers per trip, which is already more than 40 kilometers per round trip, which means he's maybe using the money for his own use. Okay, now we come now for the next thing. Average number of trips, average number of kilometers per trip. You see here, this already on 58. You see what we calculated, this how they got this. So you're already out of it, out of the 40. Average number of kilometer less. Average number of kilometer less means this one is dropping just people around. Then look at fuel consumption, petrol use, petrol liters use. Look at this one. Then kilometer per liter. Okay. Look, this one is taking 22, this one is taking 22, this one is taking 14. So we are analyzing. Petrol cost 11 rand per liter. Okay, this one is consuming more petrol. Petrol cost per liter, you see, more petrol cost per liter, which means the vehicle, as you can see, is very old. So I've analyzed. Now, if I'm to look at this, what are the problems they are facing? First, I come to vehicle one, Leroy. Leroy worked only 12 days out of 28 days absent. That's the problem I've identified. The reason, what would be the reason? What would be the advice? Sorry, the advice, I have to investigate the reason for his absence. Then look at, secondly, I can look also as a salary. He's the highest paid driver. Okay, 8,000 rand, whereas other drivers earn 5,000 rand. So what will I do? Advice, I pay him only for the number of days that he worked. I come now to freight. What has been Freight's own problem? Freight is traveling too much. Look, customers live no more than 40 kilometers the round trip, but averagely is 58. So freight is traveling too much, averagely 58 kilometers per trip, which is higher than the maximum of 40 kilometers. So what should be done? They should have a possible disciplinary action against freight for unauthorized use of vehicle, or they should improve internal control over his vehicle. So now I come to Becky. Becky, what is your own problem? Becky is doing most number of trips, 120. Yeah, we see 120, but his vehicle is too old. It has residual value, the oldest. And on top of that, it's the most expensive to run. So what should you do? Advise you consider replacing this vehicle, as it is now expensive to maintain. Look at the cost per liter. Okay, so we have identified each of their problem, and we have given advice to each and every one of their problem. Now, if you look at the next part now, how are the marks allocated in this? You know, in accounting, when it comes to this managing resources, always when you write, you have to try to quote figures. You always have to write and try to quote figures. Okay, you see here how the marks are allocated. We said we identify problem with the figures. Each problem, 1 mark here, 1 mark for this problem, 1 mark for this problem, and 1 mark also go figures. So you have 6 marks here. 1 problem, 1 figure, 1 problem, 1 figure, 1 figure. And then each of the advice, then you have there also 1 mark. Now we'll go now to the next question. Question 2. Best phone sells 1 brand of cell phone. The owner, Benny Rose, has 3 branches in 3 different shops. The table below reflects annual figures of the branches for the financial year ending as represented by the bookkeeper. Identify one problem relating to each branch. Code figures to support your answer. In each case, offer brand advice. Okay, now let's look at this. Identify one of each problem. Number of cell phones available for sale. Okay, this one have and what's available? This one has 440. This one have 390. This one have 280. Now, the number of orders received: 110, 300, 400. So we already see a problem here. Paris. Too much of cell phones ordered, your time cash on hand, and then you receive only very few order. This one, 390, you receive 300, and this one, 280, you receive 400. So you see that it's receiving more, the customers might live somewhere else. Number of cell phones sold everything. Is sold from the order. They receive 400 orders, but only 280 were sold because he didn't have more, you see. Closing stock, 330, 90, 0. It's a problem not having stock. Selling price per cell phone. See, this one is too expensive. Maybe that's why people are not taking order. This one is 6,000 and this one is 6,400, which means it's to try to get stock from the other shop. The markup percentage, this one, the markup is too high. The amount deposited during the year. Why is this amount deposited during the year? Because we have to look at the number of cell phones sold times the price per cell phone. We see that it corresponds. Okay, they correspond. So if we look at, let's go to Paris. First problem, stockpiling. The stockpiling. 330 out of 440 were on hand. Secondly, the markup of 80% is too high. Okay? Or another person can say they sold only 110 out of the 440 that are available. That's a problem. Advice: you should reduce the markup to increase sales. Okay? Or you should make sales promotion or other stock as required. Come to the Pretoria branch. Pretoria branch, if you look at it, you might look at it and say, oh, it's nice. You see, we have only 90 left. But now we have to look at also the cash. Let us multiply. They sold 300 cell phone for 6,000 each. So 300 and 6,000. Supposed to be 1.8 million. But you see here, it is 1,680,000. So there's missing cash of 120,000. That is a problem. So what should be the advice? Check money before banking, or there should be what? Division of duty, the easiest one for everyone. Okay. For further branch, what can be the problem? We've already seen the problem from the beginning. Poor stock control. Okay, 400 orders have been placed, but they have only 280 available, 120 less. So not enough stock to meet the deep demand is a problem. So they should advise purchase more stock, or they go and take stock from Paris branch. So look at your market allocation for that. So those are the solutions. Now we'll come now to the next question. Internal control. You are provided with information related to Leno furnishers. They sell tables, chairs, and bed for cash only. The owner is concerned that the figures provided reflect poor internal control and decision making. Identify one problem for each product, and then in each case, give advice to solve it. So, one, we have to identify a problem, and then we give an advice. Table, opening stock, unit purchase. So if I started with this and I purchase this, it means available, I already have what? 720. I sold 600, I'm supposed to be left with what? 120, I'm left with 90. I already identify one problem. Selling price per unit is this. So I can also look at if I sold 600 units for 1,500, let me check if also they put in every money. 600 times 1,500. 100,000 goods. Everything is being placed. I come to the chairs. I have 290, 209. I bought 2,390. Means I have available 2,399. Sell this 2,400. I may have 2,599. Sell 2,400. I left 199. It's fine. So let me look at 2,400 times 800 is every cash is deposited. 2,400 times 800. 1,920,000. So I look at number sold times the price. So I was supposed to have 1,920,000, 120,000 missing. So you see, I'm looking also for missing cash. You see the type of thing you're looking at: missing cash, stock on hand, good to return, those type of things. I come here, opening stock, this, purchase this, I have 680, sold this, I'm left with 200. Fine. Okay, unit sold. I come again, I check on it. I said, okay, 300 Rand, 3,000 times 480. Put the deposit all the money. Okay, but you cannot be that clean. What do I look again? Stock on hand. You have opening stock this and you sell 480 and you're left with 200. 200. But you buy too much, there's too much of stock on hand compared to the others. So I come now, each of the item, table. So stolen tables, how many tables were stolen? 30. Okay. So 30 tables were stolen. So if I multiply that 30 by 1,500, I've lost 45,000. Advice: improve fiscal security, do regular stock counts, or you do continuous check at the doors. Chairs. They said, what was the problem with these chairs? There was missing amount when I look at unit sold times unit price. It was supposed to be 1,920,000. 120,000 missing, division of duty, or request notification from the bank. I go to bed. What's the problem? Too much stock on hand, 200. While sale is only 480 for the year. Okay, how did they go and buy what? 380 when they already have 300. So if you look at the stock is going very slow. Okay, if I take this 200 and multiply by the number of sale 480, it means its stock stays 5 months. 5 months. This time 12 months means it stays 5 months. So this divided by this times 12 gives you 5 months. So it's taking too long. So what should you do? You look here, try to reduce the selling price of the bed. Okay, or you use more effective methods of advertising. So you check on that. You've seen that. Now we come now to the next question. Problem solving. JS Financial Sales Desk and chairs the financial year ended 28 February. Where applicable, provide relevant figure for all questions below. Desk. What decision did J take regarding the selling price of the desk? Explain 2 points on how the decision have affected it. So now we'll come here. What decision did he take? We'll go to desk. So we have to look at, be able to study our table. Selling price, regarding the selling price. 20, he increased the selling price. Okay, what decision to take regarding the selling price? Increase the selling price from 360 to 420, or he increased the markup by 25%. So how does this affect the business? You see the stock turnover rate. Stock turnover rate means the number of times that, or the rate at which stock leaves the shop. Here it was 7.4 times, but now it's only 5.4 times. Okay, so you see that even though gross profit have increased, but the stock turnover rate have reduced also. Okay, and you look the gross unit, number of units will also have greatly reduced, and the number of orders. So you see how it affects the business. So we said that he increased the price from 362, from 360 to 420, or he increased the markup by 25%. So what has happened? Affecting the business that good gross profit have increased from 36,720 to 45,000. The number of units sold also have decreased. Okay, that's decreased. The number of units sold by about 80 units, and the stock turnover rate also have decreased. So that's with chairs. Jay decided to buy his chairs from a cheaper supplier. Provide 2 points on why you feel this is not good. Cheaper supplier means they have low quality. Look at decided to. Before in 2017, order received, he sold everything. And now look at the order received, he sold only this. And look at the returns, 56. Okay. And he's buying from local supplier. You see that the cost price per unit have dropped also. So why is this not good? You see it has reduced his gross profit because of too much of return, and very few people are buying. Sales have dropped. So one, this is not good because it's not able to keep up the order received. It's not able to keep up the order received. The order 500, but he got only this. Local supplier does not have enough stock to give him. Okay, secondly, you see that the returns 56 before there was nothing, which means poor quality material. And the gross profit also have dropped by about 9,936. So it's not good. Okay. There, you can see it's not good at all. The decisions were not good. So we'll go now to the next question. Internal control. Advanced tech trader sells one brand of television set and employ a manager and 2 sales assistants. One manager, Brian, the owner, is considering closing down the business and investing in fixed property. He feels that the manager is not controlling stock effectively. Information for 3 years are given. Identify one problem in relation to each year and quote figures. So I have to come now each year. Television set available. Year 3 is very small. Television set sold. You see, year 3 they sold everything. They don't have any closing stock. That's a problem. No closing stock on hand. Customers will leave. Year 2, too much of closing stock on hand. It's dying cash. You look at the selling price. The selling price here was too high. That's why they was having too much of stock on hand. Okay. The markup also was too high. And here one they deposited more. So each problem, if you look here, year 1, we said when you are looking at this problem, always look for theft of cash or theft of stock or whatsoever. Like I can look here, revision set times this, it should give me this. So 240 times 12,000. 240 times 12,000. Right, the money is right. Number of stock also. Let me look. The number of stock, 320 minus 240 sold. Level 80 and level 70. So problem 10 television set stolen. Solution, improve security. That's the solution. Improve security, do regular stock count, rotation of your staff, division of duty to make sure that one person is not doing same thing all the time. So year 2, you see closing stock, too much of stock on hand, only 25% of the stock was sold because the markup percentage of 100 too high. So they can improve sale pro promotion like what they did in the first year, okay? Or they maintain the 50% markup. Year 3, problem, there's no closing stock. And also if you check if there's missing cash, this sold times the unit price, you see that it's missing cash of about 124,000. So you order more stock to solve this problem and division of duties to avoid cash being stolen. So go now to the next question. You are the internal auditor for Showway Traders. The owner is concerned that he is spending too much on delivering goods to customers. He has provided you with figures for June. Identify one different problem regarding each vehicle. Quote figures. Give John 1 point of advice to each. So this is similar. John has 3 delivery vehicles and employed 3 drivers to transport his customer free of charge. So if you look at this question, is basically like the first one. It's basically like the first one. If you look, this one was in 2017 prelim KZN, and if you look here, this one was February March 2016. So it's basically the same problem. So we are done with managing resources and internal control. We'll come to do more of this at the end of the year when we are doing our prelim revision. Thank you for having attended the class.